Hello and welcome to Critical Mass Business Talk Show. I am your host, Rick Franzi, and we have an exciting show planned for you today. Why? Because we have a great guest. Sylvia Pizarroso is our guest, and she is the director of the Finance Center at the OCIE SBDC. Sylvia, how are you doing today?
Oh, great. Rick, I want to thank you for allowing me the opportunity to present today and have this chat with you. So thank you very much. I appreciate the opportunity.
You're welcome. I'm excited to have you on the show because I've actually, since we met, I've been on the road of discovery. I was aware of your organization, the SBDC, but always sort of at a distance in hearing people talk about the organization and what you do for business owners and people here in Orange County and the Inland Empire. But I'm excited to have you on the show because we can go a little deeper today. But before we do that, I want to start with what was the motivation that you had in your career to join the SBDC?
After 37 years in finance and banking, including 20 years as a relationship manager and also doing business development, my aha moment came from a reoccurring gap I saw out in the marketplace when I was a banker. I saw countless brilliant entrepreneurs starting businesses, but lacked the technical roadmap and resources to scale. So that led me to begin volunteering and leading workshops to bridge this gap, which is where I found my true calling and passion. And 2 years ago, I made a decision to retire from corporate banking and I joined the SBDC Finance Center. My goal was very simple. I have a passion for helping small businesses. So I'm here to sit next to the business owner and use my experience in finance and banking to help and empower them.
So, in your career in the banking industry, were you aware of what SBDC? I just heard something in the sound. Oh, sorry about that. Were you aware of what SBDC, all that they offered when you were in the finance and banking industry?
I did actually when I first joined the last bank I was with, which is JP Morgan Chase. I was handling a territory in South LA, and I found some folks at the SBDC at that point, and I began networking with them. So I was very familiar with them, and some of the workshops that I was mentioning that I was volunteering on were done with the SBDC pre-COVID. Yes.
Yeah, I remember those days. The world has changed so much since then.
Yes, it
Okay.
has.
So in your storied banking and finance career before you joined the SBDC, was there a time when you had a career setback, might I say a failure, or something that you really learned a valuable lesson from that you could pay it forward and share it with our audience today?
I did. And it was I don't look at it as a failure, more of a learning experience. So after having joined Chase and having a great 4 year run as a individual contributor, I took the next natural step
Mm.
into management. So I got promoted to area manager in their business banking division. In this role, I was managing 12 relationship managers and oversaw a portfolio of over $500 million in deposits and over $100 million in small business loans. It was all great at the beginning, and then I quickly realized the role kind of moved me away from what I loved to do most, which was building relationships and helping the small business owners through, with their operations. So instead of building those relationships, I was managing HR issues and internal red tape. So it was an interesting time, but it also taught me that upward isn't the only way to grow.
Mm.
And at the same time, this experience allowed me to really, really sharpen my skills, mentoring junior talent, junior bankers. And also, it really helped me develop my decision making skills. And one of the biggest takeaways was that I now ensure my work is always aligned with direct impact, which is what I'm doing now. I learned that my greatest value lies in being a strategic partner, um, and not just the manager of processes.
How long after you took that promotion did you realize, this might not be what I really am, my calling, what I love to do, Sylvia?
It was a while. I was the manager for almost 7 years.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
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 I gave it my all, but at the end, I'm like, yeah, this isn't aligning with my, my personal values, which is
Mhm.
making direct impact. Yes.
Mm. That's
Yeah.
great. And were you able to get back to doing that then?
Yes, I was actually. I then transferred to the middle market division as an individual contributor, and that's where I was at my last 3 years at JP Morgan Chase. Yes.
Mm. Yeah, it's interesting how the banking industry is sort of stratified based on the size of the business, the needs of the services that they require at the bank. And I work a lot with what I think you would call middle market businesses,
Right.
SMBs, small and mid-sized business.
Hmm.
There's a bunch of different names for them, but they're if you want to think of it for me, they're the heartbeat, if you will, of the economy. I
Hmm.
really
They are.
enjoy working with those business owners who've built a business large enough that they have to employ people to get the work done.
Yeah, and then they're the ones that are, in my opinion, need the most help because you're still also dealing with the founders, which is great. I always love hearing this story. My first meeting, how did you get started? Loved hearing that story. I think when you start working with larger, the corporate size businesses, you kind of move away from the founders, and so you lose that touch. So that's one of the items that I enjoyed the most was really dealing with the founders and learning how they got started, what inspired them to get started.
I agree with you too, because they have almost all the same challenges of the larger corporations, but they don't nearly have the scale and resources to solve the problems like their bigger competitors do. So
Yes.
having high value trusted advisors and the banking relationship, from my perspective, is one of the key relationships that an SMB middle market business owner founder really needs to have. It's valuable in the good times. It really comes through in the challenging times. And you mentioned COVID before, and that's where I really saw in my community of 50 plus SMB businesses, those business owners that had a relationship with a relationship manager versus a relationship with a bank were sort of light years ahead of understanding what the options they had available to them during that early days of COVID. And it really showed me how important it is to have a banking relationship with a person. Call them a relationship manager.
Yeah, so true. I was just going to bring that up during COVID, and we saw it. I mean, um, crazy times, and small business owners were trying to get that PPP money, and it was
Mhm.
crazy. It was like somebody described it. It was like driving a bus with as they were changing the wheels. That's how crazy it was.
Right.
And the only way that some people could get answers was by calling their representatives, their relationship managers. Our phones were ringing off the hook because if you didn't have that relationship, you went to the branch, they couldn't really help you. There wasn't a whole lot of help there.
Right.
Yeah, it was definitely challenging times, and yeah, it is super super important to have somebody that can advocate for you, not just in, let's say, the COVID times, but let's say you're having some challenging times with the business and you have a loan. You want somebody that can advocate on your behalf and go talk to the risk folks and say, everything's going to be okay. I had a meeting with a client. This is the strategy that had a little hiccup or something. It's really, really important to have that person to advocate for you.
As we were talking about that early days of COVID, it reminded me is that's when I met Pete Black
Okay. Who's a
because
consultant with the team now?
Ri
Yes.
right, because we were in a Zoom call with all of my clients, and they were trying to figure out PPP, and one of our members had so many answers about how do you apply and the portal and all that, and we're like, "How do you know all this?" And he says, "Well, my banker, Pete Black, has he's keeping me informed," and, like,
Right.
everybody was, like, almost jealous because other ones, you might if I remember correctly, the larger banks are asking people just to submit their application online, and there's a lot of confusion. So
Yeah,
this
yeah,
brings it full circle, huh, to
it does.
PFLAG.
I have PTSD from it.
Sorry, let's move on then, because hopefully that's a once in a lifetime type of
Yes,
experience that
yes.
we've had. All right, so now help me and help the audience. Let's talk about the Finance Center within the SBDC and the fact that you're the director. Talk to us about what it is you do for your clients and how do you help them.
Oh, absolutely. But before I get to that, let me just start at the beginning. The Small Business Development Center was established in the 1970s by the SBA to provide resources to the small business community. And there are chapters across the nation. So even if you move out of state, there's an SBDC local to you. My chapter specifically serves Orange County and the Inland Empire. And because we are funded by grants from the SBA and the state of California, all of our expertise is entirely free to the small business community. There's no catch. A lot of people are very, nervous about it. They're like, what's the catch? There's no catch. The only thing the SBA and the state of California want, they want that economic impact. We help you, you succeed. We're creating economic impact in our communities. And within my chapter, we have various centers that can assist businesses in all aspects of the operation. The Finance Center, my center, we specialize in access to capital. I lead a team of 7 consultants, all former bankers, underwriters, and business owners. And we act as loan brokers, but with 0 fees. We take the mystery out of funding. We vet lenders. We prepare your financial package, and we match you with the right capital partner. We currently work with about 140 reputable lenders, and we accept 0 compensation from them. Our only loyalty is to the small business owner. Last year alone, our chapter facilitated the funding of $147 million. We drove $47 million in increase in sales. We help create 243 full-time jobs. All of this involve a total of about 42,000 hours of one-on-one consulting. We helped about 15,500 clients. So whether you're a startup or a 40 million business, if you're looking to start or scale, we are your strongest ally.
You answered one of my questions, which was, where on the spectrum of business size do you find yourself helping? But it sounds like a founder, an early stage entrepreneur can work with you, and someone who's scaling a growing company can also see value in working. Yes?
Yes, absolutely. And by definition, the SBA defines a small business companies with revenues less than 40 million and less than 500 employees. So it's pretty large. And
Yeah,
yes, we help.
that's a pretty large small business,
It
500
is.
employees.
It
But okay,
is.
thank you.
We help everybody from the cookie home, somebody making cookies at home and looking to scale from there to somebody who's very, very established. Last year, we helped this lady who was making cookies at home get a $5,000 loan to scale. And we also help a very large company buy 3 more franchises, totaling $19 million. So it's pretty wide range of the clients we're able to assist.
Is there any certain SIC code, industry, what it might, any certain area type of business that is more aligned with the SBDC charter than others?
We help everybody. We follow the SBA guidelines. Basically, we are here to help for-profit businesses and any business that is pretty much listed as a prohibited industry or clients at the SBA. Those are the ones that we cannot help as well, like adult services, marijuana, things of that nature. But other than that, I mean, anything that is, a business, we can help anybody. Restaurants, transportation, manufacturers. There is a huge a drive this year to help manufacturers. As you know, it's a big campaign by our government to bring more manufacturers back to our country. So this year there's gonna be a large focus on trying to assist small manufacturers scale here in the United States.
So is the relationship, is it transactional? Okay, I'm an entrepreneur, I want to grow, I need an access to capital. I'm not sure which bank can help me the most. I come to you, you get me in the right relationship and I'm off to the races. Or is it I come to you, here's my problem, we keep a relationship, you solve it this time, but we keep an ongoing relationship. So is this transactional with your clients or is it a more of a long-term relationship? What have you found, Sylvia?
Well, in the past, what I've seen, it was a transactional relationship, but we're trying to move away from that. We would like for you to come back to us as you continue to grow your business, because you might need a loan today for X dollars, but then as things progress, you might need to refinance that loan or get a larger loan. And one of the things that we're doing too, we do quite a bit, is if you come to us seeking financing, and let's say, and we get quite a few bank declines, we get quite a few of those in our center. They've been to a few banks and they've been declined. We go through the whole pre-underwriting process ourselves to understand exactly what's happening and identify, where the issues are. If we feel they're not quite ready, because we all have pretty robust underwriting background, including myself. I underwrote commercial loans for 12 years in my early years. We put a plan together. We let them know exactly, this is what's happening. Let's put a plan together, and then we meet with them to work on that plan to make them bankable in 3 months, 6 months, a year. Sometimes it could take over a year, depending on what the situation is and what they might need to fix and work on. So we are hoping to be a relationship organization so they can keep coming back to us. And we have some of those clients that as they continue to grow, they come back and they're like, oh, I'm ready to open my second store, my second location, or now I need X, Y, and Z. So that is the ultimate goal, that we have, long-term relationships with our clients.
And all that's free.
Everything is completely free. There's no catch. Again, we're funded
Yeah.
by grants from the
Okay.
SBA and the state. So again, they want businesses to succeed, because when you succeed, you hire more people.
Absolutely.
The people that you hire, they're paying, taxes. You're paying taxes. I mean, all that economic growth is what they're looking to assist.
Maybe buy a house, who knows, raise children, send them
Yeah,
to college.
exactly.
It's a beautiful thing.
Mhm.
I have kind of two questions. I want to go in two different directions. I know you're doing webinar series, and I want to get to that in a minute. But
Mhm.
before we go there, in addition to the finance center that you're the director of at the SBDC here in Orange County and Inland Empire, are there other centers that business owners could leverage as well?
Absolutely. Just within our chapter, we have 10 centers.
Uh-huh.
Uh, there are about 4 centers that provide general services from A to Z. So let's say you're a startup and you need help with your initial business plan projections and compliance, your permits, licenses, insurance. There are consultants that can help you with that piece in the general centers. We have one in Orange County, we have one in Riverside, and we also have one in the Coachella Valley. In addition to that, we have specialty centers. We have an international trade center. So if you're looking to export or import, they can, again, from A to Z, kind of handhold you through that process to help you import or export. We have a contracting center where they can help you with certifications and also access to contracts with federal, state, county, city, or corporate agencies. There's a whole process for that. You can't just go bid for a job with, let's say, the city or the county. You need to be prepared, and then they prepare you for that. We also have a couple centers that focus on technology and innovation. We have a accelerator here in Irvine, Launchpad SBDC, that's connected to Octane. So they work with accelerating more of the tech companies, the med tech, biotech companies. And we also have a incubator in Riverside that also is helping with tech companies. And then my center, of course, that's the finance center. We specialize on access to capital, but we have a little bit of everything. We can help on all aspects of the operation.
Yeah, really. And I assume each center that you talked about is it a physical brick and mortar center in the sense of you go there and there's people, or is it a virtual center? You know what I mean? Are these
Both.
centers both? Okay.
Yeah, so we have physical centers, several in Orange County, several in Riverside, and several in the Coachella Valley. And we also conduct a lot of virtual consulting and meetings. My center primarily consults via Zoom because we're covering 3 counties, and most of our clients enjoy that because they don't have to drive from here to there. But if we
Right.
need to meet somebody in person, we'll make it happen. We'll go and drive to their business and meet with them.
So I know that you're educating as well, and you're a webinar seminar person. Can you tell me a little bit about what you have coming up?
So absolutely. So, in addition to our one-on-one consulting, we provide a lot of webinar education and workshops. I have one that is we are facilitating my team next month. It's around exit and succession planning. It's a 3-part webinar series. It's on March 10th, 17th, and the 24th. It's all going to be done via Zoom. And we invite you to join us. You can never start too early to plan on your legacy. There's a lot of small business owners that are not prepared for that. Even if you're not looking to sell in the next 3 to 5 years or retire, it's always good to have a plan and know what you need to do. And we've all heard of the silver tsunami that's coming, and there's a lot of the stats that I have is that about 55% of small business owners in Orange County and the Inland Empire are over 60 years old, and they will be
Wow.
selling in the next 5 to 10 years. So there's going to be a lot of opportunity.
What percentage?
55%.
Oh my goodness, more than half.
Yes, a lot of opportunity if you're looking to exit, because some of them don't know what the next step is. These kids may not want it. Perhaps, there could be a potential for the employees to purchase the business or selling it to a third party. We go through all those options, what works best for you. We even do an initial business valuation for you if needed, so you know where you start and what you can do to improve that number. Because if your business is worth X today, if you make some changes, if you want to maximize that number, you could make those changes in 2 to 3 years to improve that. And one of those pieces is maybe making sure that you are reporting all the income.
Yeah, cleaning up the books, getting some of the
Yeah.
ad backs out of there. Yeah, and it does take. I think business owners don't appreciate how long it does take them to get the business ready for sale, especially if they've owned it for a long time. It's sort of
Yes.
like getting your house ready for sale. If you've been in it for 10, 20, 30 years, there's a lot of stuff that you need to clean up for the new buyer so they get a business that they can run. So yeah,
Yeah,
and
it takes
having
3 to
someone
5
like you is
years.
so valuable.
Yeah,
5 years, right?
3 to 5 years to do it correctly.
Right.
Now, if you have a different strategy and you need to exit in less time than that, it is possible. Just got to figure out, what's the best strategy for you based on your individual circumstance.
What I have observed as well, Sylvia, is that some business owners believe they'll exit the business when they're ready to exit the business, and then something happens externally to them, a family illness, a divorce, something that causes them to have to sell their business before they were maybe fully ready. So I think having a plan to exit your business, even if you don't think you're going to, is just a safeguard against maybe an emergency that you hadn't anticipated.
Oh, absolutely. Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
So if someone would like to register for your webinars, learn more about your center, how do they find the SBDC online?
Well, they can reach out to us by calling 800-616-7232. They can also visit our website at www.OCIE OCIE SBDC smallbusiness.org. Let me repeat that. I'm sorry. www.OCIE Sorry. Or they can reach out to me directly and we can start the conversation.
Because you're on LinkedIn.
I am in LinkedIn. Yes, very active on LinkedIn.
So you'll find her out there if you just try. And I really think this is such a jewel for us to have here in Southern California and Inland Empire, Orange County. And more people should learn about what your services are because it's all free.
It is. It is. I mean, many times some people are looking for a business plan and projections. If you go
Yes.
somewhere for, that, they're going to charge you between $3,000 to $10,000, depending on the type of work that you need. And again, we offer all those services for free.
Yeah, and you're introducing them to the right bank is so critical because you have inside knowledge. You know who likes what kind of deals and loans, and you can really help take a lot of the anxiety maybe out of it for business owners because you can focus them on the right type of partners, which I think is super valuable.
Yes, yes. And not just bank, we also work with a lot of CDFIs, Certified Development Financial Institutions.
Okay.
They are community lenders. So their focus is to really lend to the non-bankable clients and
Wow.
um, very, very flexible guidelines compared to banks. Like I said, we do work with a lot of bank declines and we find there's a lot of resources for them. Many times we get clients coming to us looking for an SBA loan, and we educate them that SBA is not the only option for them, especially now since last year the SBA program has gotten a little more conservative. They're not as flexible, and so we're having to find other programs and resources for business owners to get funding. And many people don't know that the state of California also has a guarantee program. So there's this thing called the state guarantee program, which is very, very flexible. Again, just like the SBA, you just need to find lenders that participate in it. We know we have relationships with all of them. So based on your profile, once we review it, we know where you need to go. We identify those lenders that are going to be comfortable with your profile. And state guarantee could be one of them. There is also private programs. Those CDFIs have private money and they develop their own programs. So there are those options as well.
Well, this has been enjoyable. I said at the top of the show, at the open, that we had an exciting one planned, and Sylvia, you did not disappoint. Thank you very much for your time today. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Thank you so much. Again, I appreciate the opportunity.
And thank you to the audience. You've been a part of Orange County's longest running business talk show and podcast. And if you would like to be a guest on the show, then reach out to me on LinkedIn. I'm Rick, R-I-C, Franzi, F-R-A-N-Z-I, and I would be happy to talk with you about the potential of sharing your story as Sylvia just did. And until the next time we all have a chance to be together, I hope all of your business decisions will move your organizations in a positive direction.
Thank you.